Hey, what's up guys? My name is Robert Wilson, Pensacola's #1 real estate agent, and in this video, we are going to go over the PACE area, and I'm going to help kind of explain what the PACE area is all about. We're going to talk about the what, the where, the when, the why, the how, all as it pertains to PACE, Florida. So if you're thinking about moving to the general Pensacola area and you're wondering what all the niche areas are and you've come across PACE a couple of times in your home search, well, you're definitely going to want to watch this video so that you can find out a little bit more about what the PACE area has to offer and kind of what the spirit of the area is out in PACE. And after watching this video, you should be a little bit closer to answering the question of whether or not you might be able to see yourself living out in PACE. So real quick before we dive into the video, let me just go ahead and introduce myself. If you don't know me already, my name is Robert Wilson. I am a real estate agent located here in the greater Pensacola area, working and living in the downtown area. If you go to my website, robertwilsonflrealtor.com, you can see all of the areas that I cover here along the Gulf Coast surrounding the general Pensacola area. And if this is your first time watching any of my videos, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button, because I put out videos like this all of the time showcasing the general Pensacola area. So again, if you're thinking about moving here to the area, you're definitely going to want to watch this channel so that you can become more in tune with what our overall area has to offer and whether or not which area is perfect for you. So anyway, without further ado, let's jump into the video. All right guys, so as y'all know, I like to start these videos off with the what and the where. So let's dive right into it. So what is PACE? Well, PACE is an unincorporated community located in Santa Rosa County, located northeast of Pensacola and west of Milton. Now, the communities PACE and Milton are very, very close to each other, and the boundary lines that separate the two communities, to be honest with you, those boundary lines can be sort of blurred lines. Like, you can be traveling down Highway 90 totally in PACE, and then next thing you know, you hit a left, make a right, or just make any other turn, and boom, you're in Milton. And honestly, this video could be just one video talking about PACE and Milton together, but I like to be detailed, so PACE got its own video. Now, as far as population goes in PACE, during the 2020 census, PACE had a reported population of approximately 25,000 people. And in my opinion, out of all the areas that I cover, PACE feels the most suburby. And the city that PACE is a suburb to is Pensacola. And as I just mentioned, PACE is located right on the other side of Pensacola across Highway 90. And PACE is about a 23-minute drive to downtown Pensacola and about a 35 to 40-minute drive to Pensacola Beach. All right, so that's the what and the where regarding PACE. Now let's talk about when. When should you move to PACE? Well, I'd say move to PACE whenever. In the Milton Explained video, I said that you should move to Milton when they finish building your home. Now, there is a lot of new construction taking place in the PACE area as well, but given the fact that PACE is twice the size population-wise as Milton, there are going to be a lot more options available for you whenever you are looking for homes to purchase. Yes, there are going to be a lot of new construction pre-sales taking place in PACE, but the percentage of pre-sales that make up the entire inventory available in PACE, that percentage is not going to be quite as high as the percentage of pre-sales that make up the existing inventory in Milton. So feel free to move to PACE whenever. There are plenty of homes available ready for you to move in now. But hey, if you want to buy a pre-sale out in PACE, definitely go for it. I took a tour of a couple of different neighborhoods last week where homes are being sold that have been built and also have not been built in that particular neighborhood. Lots of existing inventory in PACE, as well as a pretty healthy amount of new construction pre-sales available as well. Why? Why should you move to PACE? Okay, you should move to PACE if you want to enjoy all the amenities that are located here in Pensacola but you don't want to live in Pensacola. You would rather live out in the suburbs. Okay, so here in Pensacola, we have the Pensacola International Airport. We have Cordova Mall. We have numerous hospitals and other amenities that Pace just doesn't have. Pace has been growing rapidly like every other community here in the greater Pensacola area, including the city of Pensacola itself. But Pensacola's development and growth is just way further into the future than Pace currently is. So again, you should move to Pace if you want to enjoy all of the amenities that Pensacola offers, but don't necessarily want to live in Pensacola. Now let's talk about the how. How is Pace any different from all of the other areas here in the greater Pensacola area? Well, as I mentioned earlier in the video, Pace does offer a pretty suburban lifestyle, and the Beulah area is definitely heading in that direction and will be there with Pace in that regard as well. But Beulah, they're just not nearly developed enough. The main thing that has been developed out in the Beulah area has been houses. There's really mainly been residential development taking place out in Beulah. Now, once the OLF 8 project is finished, there will be a lot more commercial development completed out in Beulah. But until that gets done, which is gonna be a few years down the road, like you're really only gonna have houses out in the Beulah area. But out in Pace, you have a lot of residential development having taken place over the past decade or so, and really over the past 5 years. But also, the commercial development has really kept up pace with the amount of residential development that has gone on in Pace. But Pace still maintains its country, suburban, laid-back lifestyle versus here in Pensacola that has a lot of residential, a lot of commercial. Here in Pensacola, it definitely is more of an urban vibe versus out in Pace, lots of residential, lots of commercial, but more of a suburban type vibe. All right, so that's the how. Now let's talk about who is worth mentioning out in Pace. Well, Pace is named after James G. Pace, who owned large lumber, paper, and turpentine productions that operated out in Pace. So there's that guy. And also a couple of other folks worth mentioning are all of these civilian and military personnel who are employed out at NAS Whiting Field. Now here in Pensacola, we have NAS Pensacola, so we have that large crowd of people who live and work here in the Pensacola area. And conversely, Pace has its own tight-knit military community of civilians and military personnel that work at NAS Whiting Field. And last but certainly not least, and not to sound like a broken record here, but the last folks I want to give a shout out to in regards to the Pace area are people who love the suburbs. All right guys, so that is the Pace area explained in about 10 minutes or less. If you got any value out of the video, please go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. And before I end the video, let me just go ahead and say, if anybody is watching this video and they want me to go ahead and add them to my MLS platform to have properties funneled straight over to their inbox, please reach out to me and let me know. Just send me an email and then we can set up a phone conversation talking a little bit about what all it is you're looking for in your next home here in the Pensacola area. Really, the only information I need from you is how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms, what's the minimum square footage that you're looking for, what areas are you looking in, and then once I have that information, I can go ahead and upload all that info to my MLS system, and then it will start to automatically funnel over properties that fit your specific criteria. It'll send you all of the properties that are on the market currently, as well as any new properties that hit the market as soon as they become available. But anyway, thank you so much for watching the video. We'll see you on the next one.